Ananta might be the most controversial anime RPG we've seen in years. From people accusing it of copying Spider-Man swinging in GTA Chaos, to shocking the industry by removing the gacha system completely, to promising us a world where you can steal NPC phones, watch indie films in theaters, or ride a hammer bike with a bunny girl. It could be brilliant, or it could be a complete disaster. So what is Ananta actually about? The game drops us into a futuristic city where you're part of the ACD, the Anti-Chaos Directorate. Think of it as a special task force led by the captain, your main protagonist. Together with a group of Espers, people with supernatural powers, your mission is simple. Keep the city safe from dangerous anomalies and fight against a mysterious force known only as Chaos. But of course, a world this ambitious is only as good as the people you play as, and Ananta doesn't hold back. Right now, the game offers 4 playable leads, a squad that really sets the tone. The captain is your leader, and if you're wondering why he looks different from the old trailers, that's a story we'll get into later. Alongside him, you've got Richie, a driven but sometimes scatterbrained fighter who brings the raw power to the team. Then there's Taffy, a courier who spends her life zipping around the city, sometimes on foot, sometimes on her hammer bike. And finally, Seymour, the character everyone keeps talking about, maybe even more than the MC himself. Curious, right? A hacker who hijacks billboards in city systems. And some fans even believe he's connected to the original protagonist we saw back in 2023 trailers, based on his outfit. If that's true, things get very interesting.
Because alongside the main squad, we also meet others. Dilla, a mysterious girl tied to the meteor disaster that scarred Nova City. Mechanica, a ghost worker who can literally bring machines to life. And many more characters, each bringing their own angle to the story. But characters are only one side of the vision. Ananta also sells itself as a digital playground, a world with no stamina bar slowing you down, where you can run, swing, and climb without limits. Vehicles everywhere, cars, bikes, buses, helicopters. And the city itself feels alive. Play basketball, sit for mahjong, work out in a gym, or take on jobs, deliveries, hacking, even stepping into the role of a cop. There are amusement parks, arcades, even a dating system where affection levels decide how close you get to your companions. On the surface, it looks like the ultimate sandbox, but with so much ambition, this game sits at the highest highs and the lowest lows. Characters wielding yo-yos, pistols, even full-blown vehicle combat. It makes you ask, how is any of this supposed to run on mobile? Yet pre-registrations already broke 11 million after the latest trailer. We've seen this story before. Genshin Impact exploded because it delivered an experience mobile had never seen before. Wuthering Waves had similar hype, but struggled to deliver. So where does Ananta fall? Testers confirmed some promises were real. You can work out in gyms, snatch NPC phones, even watch indie films in cinemas. But combat? The fast-paced action shown in trailers was described as slow, clunky, and frustrating. New trailers do look better, smoother, flashier, more explosive. But until players test it again, nobody knows if it'll actually feel that way. And then comes the biggest issue, optimization. Even on high-end PCs, cutscenes dropped into single-digit frames. Some players reported outright crashes. If powerful rigs can't handle it, how will a PlayStation 5 or millions of phones? And here's the truth. These problems don't exist in a vacuum. They come from Ananta's past, a past the devs don't exactly want to talk about. Back in 2019, the studio revealed Hidden World Record, a strange mobile game where bugs and glitches were the mechanic. It failed 3 tests and was scrapped. Rebooted as Project Mugen, the flashy anime GTA hybrid fans first saw in 2021. Hype was huge, but then came silence, until it returned, rebranded as Ananta. And instead of renaming accounts, the devs wiped their socials clean. To fans, it looked canceled, but really it was a reset, a way to bury the past and control the story. With NetEase as publisher, the pressure makes sense, but NetEase isn't patient, and that may explain why some animations looked lifted straight from GTA 5. That's what kicked off the big controversy. When the new trailer dropped, people immediately accused Ananta of straight-up copying. The Spider-Man style swinging, the GTA-like chaos, even some of the camera transitions looked almost identical. Social media was flooded with side-by-side clips claiming Ananta was just stitching together ideas from other games. But then the story took a turn.
It wasn't stolen footage, it was collaboration. The same gameplay segment was uploaded to Sony's official channel, which means those scenes weren't faked or lifted, they were part of a coordinated partnership for the showcase. So what looked like a copycat moment was actually marketing that just went too well. Still, the damage was done. The reputation stuck. To many, Ananta was now the anime GTA. Ambitious, yes, but also suspiciously familiar. And with graphics rivaling some of the biggest games in the industry,
millions were already questioning Ananta's future. And then, the devs dropped something that changed everything. They removed the gacha system entirely. A system that has defined this genre for years, gone. This could be a well-planned strategy, or just a backup plan to dodge questions the devs didn't want to answer. And here's the twist. Just before Ananta's announcement, another game, Duet Night Abyss, did the same. It exploded online, the internet was full of hype, people were going crazy to see how it worked. So was Ananta's move carefully timed, or just a convenient escape route from the growing doubts around the project? Whatever the case, the removal of Gacha was celebrated. But as exciting as it sounds, it still needs to be executed. Games like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves became massive, making millions in profit through a system that kept players spending. Taking that system out? It's either genius or it's suicide. Because without Gacha, there's only one source of money left: skins and accessories. And here's the catch. The game still works if players never buy a single one. There's no FOMO, no limited time characters locked behind premium currency, no dreaded 50-50 loss. For players, it sounds like heaven, but for the game's survival, it could be hell. If revenue falls, the devs will have to keep players grinding. Daily commissions might take twice as long. Main quests and events might stretch out, demanding more hours just to keep engagement high. And without time-limited banners driving urgency, overall playtime could drop. So the question becomes, without Gacha, how many of you would actually spend on skins or accessories that don't change gameplay at all? That's the gamble. This could be the master plan that reshapes the genre for years to come, or the disaster that future games will stay far away from.